Hi Aries. Okay, welcome to this channel. If you're new here, my name's Raaji. Hi. And this space is called Opal Oracle. Okay, so Aries. Well, what's the first, where do I want to start? Give me a second. Okay, so let's start with the first card. Let's start with the first thing. So you ended up with, to me this looked like a house in the country, surrounded by trees, kind of set back a little bit, really pretty. This card is technically entitled The Park, which is actually a really beautiful card to receive. It's about openness and something that becomes clear, like more clear the closer you come to it. Maybe for some of you this is towards the end of the month, or even in the end of last month. I'm not sure. It could be a 2-week process for some of you, but basically there's something that meets together. It can represent community too, but it's like something that comes together. Now the community aspect I think is interesting because I rolled the dice as well, and you ended up with Mars and Aries in the 11th house, which is really amazing. Let's learn a little astrological lesson. So Mars is the star that takes what is, it's the drive to do something, right? It gets it done. Now, when Mars is in the 10th house, which is your house of work, it's almost as if you're going to rely on someone else for your own success. But when Mars is in the 11th house, then you, as an individual, no matter what your place is within the community, are the one that drives yourself. You make it happen, right? And apparently, whatever that is, it's interesting. You ended up with 2 Venus cards. Taurus ended up with 2 Saturn. You have 2 Venus cards here. It's interesting, right hand, left hand. They're almost like high, like, high 10 here. It's not a high 5. It's like, no, this is really good because this is entitled Great Joy and Love. Now, you also ended up with a Saturn card that's entitled Love Affair, which I think is interesting. And on the bottom of the deck was a rich marriage. So maybe some of you, I don't know, are buying a house, or you are about to, I don't know, take something to a new level. Because remember, a marriage of something is where there's just, where something meets, right? Something is in the same space and time, and it works together. Now, for some of you, this could be, I guess the way you want to look at it is realizing, well, do you see this as long-term, or do you see this as short-term? What's the time frame around something that you believe? If some of you are looking for your dream house or something like that, you may find it. You just may find it. There are multiple people involved here too, right? Now, I also see that some of you could have people in your life that you feel like are having a difficult time learning something. I do see that for some, this could be a little bit of a learning disability. But it's also something that's a bit karmic. Now, in relation to that message, there's also like this deeper level of maybe some healing, maybe some sexual healing could be very helpful for some of you. Not that you would go out and just have sex and be like, I'm going to heal this root chakra block, like I saw a blockage because of this, but it's almost like opening up in a space where something has been closed is now opening because someone faced their fear or had a conversation with someone else about what had happened to them as a child or something like that. Or happened to, like, what has happened to them that was scary, that you could also be having this conversation in this, I suppose, in this space. But what's cool about it is this is opening up some sort of place of great joy and the heart chakra really opening up. Hi, baby. I would also say, if for some reason some of you, say you're a parent and you have young children and you're married or whatever, it's like you need a babysitter and you need to go on a date. You know what I mean? Like, you need to do something different. I guess that's what the energy is asking you to do, is to enjoy yourself. But just don't, with Saturn here, don't put yourself in any circumstances where you're already smarter than that. Because to me, Aries, you are the wisest one in the zodiac. But you're also probably the most impatient. You know what I mean? Libra, you're opposite. These are two opposite things, right? Let's see here. Missing piece. What else do we have? The Ace of Pentacles. And the Nine of Cups. Oh, wow. Who had that? Oh, Libra. You recorded on the same day as Libra. Libra also received the Nine of Cups. Huh. Okay, what do you feel that is missing from your life right now? What do you feel like what do you feel that you want more of in your life? This could have to do with love. This could have to do with comfort, joy, stability, happiness. What's missing emotionally, I guess, is part of the question. You know, to me, you're also a very fun sign. So what's fun to you? Or what makes you feel good? What makes you feel comfortable enough, though, to also let your guard down? And I guess you have to admit, okay, all right, this is interesting. These two old readings that were coming. There was an old Virgo reading when I was in Pennsylvania, and we talked about, is it Marvin Gaye that does, no, it's not Marvin Gaye. It's that sexual healing song. And then Aries, you talked about a reading when I first moved south, that talked about this kind of sexual energy. It's like that root chakra energy. So this was probably, what was that? 4 years ago, and then maybe 4 or 5 years ago. Something like that. For some of you, part of what's missing is something to do with Okay, so there's a secret, right? There's some kind of secret. How am I seeing this? What is a secret? It's something someone's ashamed of. So they only say it in confidence to certain people, right? It isn't public. Do you think love is fleeting, Aries? Or do you feel... When do you feel... Okay, I see. What is the feelings? There are different ones, right? Love is a feeling. Joy is a feeling. Passion is a feeling. Anger is a feeling. Sadness is a feeling. Whatever. Disappointment, that's a feeling, right? Contentment is a feeling. Security, you can feel secure, right? Insecure, etc. Where is it that when you tap, what feelings... What is the question? What are the feelings that when you feel them, it's hard for you to get out of them? And what are the feelings that it is hard for you to get in? See what I'm saying? Because I guess whatever it is that's hard for you, like the one that's easy for you to get in and to kind of stay with it, like that feeling stays with you, that feeling's really big right now. Now, for most of you, this is very positive, which is awesome. But then it's like, okay, well, what if for some reason you feel great joy and you're full of love, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, what am I doing? Or why did this just switch around? That's because that has something to do... Have you ever read Shel Silverstein's, is it called The Missing Piece? Where he's constantly looking for that missing thing outside of him. And then he realizes that that piece is within him. Now, for those of you who are just, because I do see this scenario and we're talking to a lot of people, for those of you who have a tendency to have secret love affairs, or you involve yourself, which is your choice to be involved with things that are sort of temporary. You're just like, oh, it's a love affair, right? Which means short term. It's like where it's not committed. Wherever that is, you want to find where, when you were little, where is it that you didn't feel that you had support? Like you didn't have the security that you needed. That's part of the reason that you have a hard time committing to certain things. Now, the thing is as we move along, for some of you, this is your missing piece. It's like, here it is, it's right there. And then once you find it, it's like, oh my God, all the joy. You feel so good. And then all of a sudden you go back into this place of comfort. You feel great joy and you're all lovey-dovey again. You got the passion again, right? But it's not so hot, Mars, Aries. It's not so hot that you burn yourself, because you also realize that you are two-minded like anything else, right? Some of the ancients say that we're not supposed to go too deep into joy or sorrow, right? Because Libra talked about this month too. It's like, if you fall too deep into one or the other, it reminds me of the Symposium of Love, that book. You know, if one desires something, right? Desires to feel something or to have something. Maybe these are different, feeling and then having a physical thing, and then feeling is like an invisible thing, right? But when you desire something, say you get it, if you still continue to desire it, then how could that be? Do you see what I'm saying? I know it's a bit complex. Let's move along. This card is entitled, this card is representing wealth and joy. This is also talking about victory in ways of love and in ways of your career, like your financial standing as well. Solid, right? So I guess this is also appreciating and loving and feeling great joy right now in what you have achieved, in ways of your community, in ways of your friendships, who you have kicked out of your circle because you know it was unhealthy or you stood up to. You don't have to kick them out, but it's like sticking up for people, being honest, right? Not hiding. If some of you also are looking for love, whether this is just to date or to marry or whatever your level of, again, commitment, you have to get out, get out, and do something. Don't let the days of your life pass by, right? Mars in the 11th is, I'm going to make this happen. Now, it doesn't mean that you're in full control of the whole situation, but that you have the idea and you realize that you want to learn more about X, Y, and Z. And so you put yourself in that circumstance to learn about it, right? Okay. Okay, very interesting card. I love these cards together. Okay, let's look at one more little round for this time frame. Aries. Okay. Remember that clarity we talked about? Let's see what's going on with you. Do we say to learn from... Libra's reading will be very helpful. I'm seeing this as Sagittarius right now. It's looking down at your challenge. Let's see. Okay, so your challenge is also to relax a little bit. To understand the ebb and flow of things too, right? You can't constantly push. That's not going to get you... right, what do they say? You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Right? And all horses... So you have that get up and go. You go. Okay. Then you got to slow. Right? 5, 6, 7. You slow and then you dismount and rest. And then you get back on the horse. That's part of your challenge this month, is when to go and when to slow. Right? Remember, this is Cancer time when I'm recording this, and this is a square to you. So sometimes who you think you are, or how you've been defining yourself and how you feel, is going to be challenged somewhat. Now, depending on how much work you've been doing on this go and slow, patience, impatience and wisdom, right, then the easier this transition will be. Let's see what's going on with other people. Okay, maybe some of you, someone's stressing about work, or they can only think about, maybe people are so wrapped up in their own head that they're not giving you the attention that you want. This is when you have to take advantage of that space and time and take care of yourself. Okay? Remember, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. Let's see what your spiritual lesson is. Oh, you're doing good with that. Okay. Your lesson right now is that Libra will help you the most. Oppositions are like looking in the mirror. A square is harder, right? Let's see about work. Okay, someone may be worried about something that, again, they don't need to be worried about. You actually have really good advice in ways of helping that, but I guess at times you may just want to kick this back into realizing that what you can see in other people sometimes is what you need to do for yourself. This could be emotionally, this could be mentally, it could be physically. You want to kick that back into that lesson into yourself. If you don't, and you try to push that onto others in some kind of way, then what happens is, I guess, you get kicked a little bit, right? Or you get bucked off that comfort place, which makes it harder for you to get back into this comfort zone. So again, the lesson this month is to pay attention. I would say Cancer's reading, Libra's reading would be your most helpful as an extension. This time frame would be finding the balance in something. Realizing that you have what you need physically, that you and when it comes to the get up and go that you want to achieve, right? Part of how you make that happen to make this Mars function in the best way is for you also to ensure that some of your very fundamental things, like eating, sleeping, handled. Almost all the signs have talked about this month, but it makes sense because Cancer is ruled by the moon, and the moon is all about caring for yourself, right? To feel good in your heart and to take care of to find your center, right? So that now until when next year begins, right? When the new year begins 6 months from now, then you feel stable. Now, of course, because this is a square time to you, it could be where sometimes it could get a little bit in your head. So I guess home plays a really big factor right now. Again, the Cancer rules home, right? Comfort. Again, because the 20 breaks down, to close this out, the 20 breaks down to a number 2, which represents the clover. And the clover, I'm going to look at you before we go. Hi, my hair's a little messy, sorry. The clover represents luck, right? It represents having a good outcome on something. And this is about, remember, a meeting of something. It's finding clarity about a situation. It's finding comfort in something. Maybe some of you have been in an in-between place, or you feel like you've been missing something, and all of a sudden, everything just comes together. Is that how you motivate yourself sometimes, is to psych yourself? Do you ever psych yourself out to make it easier? You know what I mean? Be like, oh, this is going to be so hard. Oh my God, this is going to be crazy. Worry. And then all of a sudden it's like, fine. How do you motivate yourself, Aries? Stress? Does stress motivate you? I bet peace is uncomfortable for you. A little bit, right? Maybe it's just for the human. I don't know. But if you need to psych yourself out, you can. I guess maybe a little bit of it is not having, again, Libra's reading will be very helpful. I do see some, what is this? If there is a swing of something, right, where again it's that big joy and then all of a sudden it's like irritation, or you sort of go within, again, that means that you're just supposed to rest, because I guess during this time frame, if you take the right pace about it, right, when to go, when to slow, get on the horse, do a little giddy up. Somebody else talked about this. do your little giddy up, your little sprint, then you slow down, look around. I think this was Libra. You make it to the water hole, you dismount, right? You find, and then it's like you're there, you look down, and then you find what it is that you have been looking for, which you thought was way further down the line, but it actually is right there. But if you were rushing, or if you were scared, because that's what rushing is, right? Impatience is fear. So if that's the case, you'll miss it. Do you know what I mean? So practice your go and your slow, please. Yes. Yes. If you, and don't forget how much people love you. Gosh darn it. You have great joy and love. And you had, again, that rich marriage. So marriage to me, again, is about commitment. So enrich is about enrichment, right? It feels deep. It feels important. It feels it's something you can rely on, right? A marriage. There's a commitment there. And even regardless of your relationships outside of you and what you are married to, what you are feel responsible and connected to, it's also being committed to yourself to do the best that you can and to treat yourself like the beautiful man or woman that you are. Do you know what I mean? Jelly bean? Or I guess you could be a young man or a young woman. You know, wherever you are. Because I guess, again, the more patient you are, something really cool shows up. Interesting. I love you, Aries. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for being so open-minded. I do hope you have a wonderful now. And all those little... I feel like there were little spaces. It's like you replanted yourself. You're replanting yourself. It's like you grew big. You grew bigger, and now you have to replant yourself. But when you replant, it's like at first it always feels a little empty, right? It's got to like root itself in there, and then all of a sudden it might even spread out, and then once it spreads out, it starts blossoming from the inside. Do you know what I mean? Well, I do hope this was of service. Thank you again for being here. Wish you the best. Lastly, any of you who have joined Patreon, if you're still here, you would be the ones that are probably a part of that. So thanks for being here. If you've already joined the garden and planted your seeds, thank you so much. There's really wonderful people over there. Thank you. And if you'd like to check it out and you are new here, feel free. There's a link below. Also, so you know, lately it seems to be, it's more of, because I kind of let it be free. It's like the artist studio, you know, but there's more astrology over there, transits, and I don't know, it gets weird and I like it. Okay, I'll talk to you later. Please take care. Peace.